Welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we're actually taking a look at a non-war game. That's kind of a rarity for us at times. So this is Heart of Darkness by Legion Wargames, and it's an adventure game of African exploration. So this is their first ever non-war game. However, it is designed by famous war game designer Kim Kanga. So in theory, you know it's got a really good core engine to it, like it's going to be a good game because Kim Kang is a good designer. So, Heart of Darkness, right? It takes its title from its namesake, the Joseph Conrad novel, which is a very, very interesting novel, right? It shows its age at times, but it's this little novella and it explores some very, very interesting themes. And that's... So... to take its name from a book that's effectively regarded as a classic, you set yourself some expectations, and in my mind it sets me of the things that I'm looking for this game. So I'm very interested to see how this is. So it comes in a full 2-inch box, and it is a game for 2 to 5 players. You can, and we're going to try and do both. So we're going to try and get this 2-player where we kind of see, hey, is this worth doing 2-player? And then we're going to get a group together, maybe 4 or 5 of us, and play this with max players to see how that turns out as well. Kind of like a little bit of a stress test in a way. So let's crack it open. It's a very unusual components for a wargame company, and by that I mean there's these 2 really nice faux canvas bags. They got really nice texture to them, but they're not like crispy, crunchy Hessian bags that you might expect. So there's 2 of those, and they're 2 different colors. We do have a bag of bags and a couple dice in here as well. So you got little green D6, nice bright yellow D10, bag of bags. And we need those because there is quite a lot of counters in here. So this is some Bewerbung for Kanga's other game that's coming out soon, called Road to Sharon, and then they also have a game, a Barbarossa game coming out. So that's Bewerbung, you just toss that, don't need that. Alright, so the rule book. And this is the new style of Legion Wargames books. In the past 2 or 3, 4 years, they've really upped their game. So everything's in full color, it's this semi-gloss material on it, and it's just much, much nicer than... And I love to see that, right? Legion's growing, their production value is increasing significantly, and you know, it's indistinguishable from some of the large manufacturers at this point, basically, which I think is a huge credit to them because it's such a small operation with just the 2 of them. So what have we got rules-wise? Actual rules, I'm looking at 20-odd pages, I guess. But it's laid out like a wargame manual, right? Everything seems pretty well defined and delineated. A ton of examples. So I'm hoping that this is pretty easy to use and to reference as well. There's also a Kim Kanga counter, which is, you know, what's not to like. Alright, so let's look at the counters here, because there's a number. I think we've got 3 sheets of counters, I believe. Nope. Okay. And they're already kind of popping off. When I just picked these up, I almost punched a few. So this is a game where you've got the source of your river. You're trying to go up rivers, you know, on a little boat, trying to move inland and discover. It's the crux of this game, for whatever. Even whilst you're doing that, you're having encounters, exploring things, meeting people, or there's events and things that happen. So there's a whole bunch of stuff on here that I don't know what it is, and I don't know what they do, but I want to dive into the rules and find out. So we got a whole bunch of these different relics and people and events, things that happen to you. All these river direction tiles that you're going to put out into areas that you move into and through. And they're all single-sided. Same with these as well. And I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I presume these are because these are identical sets of tokens for the 5 different players that you can play up to. I would imagine that's the case. Again, a whole number of other markers of different resources and bits and pieces there. And then the last one, we got these round counters. I've not played with round counters from Legion before, but these punch fairly easily. These are the ones I just like falling off when I was picking them up. And so here we've got, looks like different alcoholic beverages, some ammunition, rifles. Well, I guess those are probably carbines, aren't they? Looks like a couple Bibles, books, diaries, telescopes. Like this is not a war game, right? It's an adventuring game. Hey, do I have my water skin? Do I need that to pass some kind of test? I'm not entirely sure, but I've spoken to a couple of people who play tested this and said they enjoyed it immensely. So I'm very excited for this, and I know Grant's been poking me to get this unboxed so that we can actually play it. All right, there's a bunch of cardboard in here, and then we'll take a look at the map. So this is encounters and events. This looks like it is more of a reference of what is in there. Or maybe that's a holding box, kind of like you have with OOBs in a lot of war games. This is a resource chart. Looks like there's 2 of these. Are these the same? It looks like it. These look like they're identical. Yeah, so this is a key for what those resources would do. So let's, like, for the diary. Well, and I don't. So you can spend things to give you modifiers for certain with resources. I'm not quite sure. There's another one here, drama point chart. Presumably these are drama points or like events, things that happen. And then an encounter chart, which looks like it's got a nice matrix on it as well. An incident chart. And then we've got, I think these are the 5 like player boards as well. And these are single-sided and identical, so everyone's going to have one of those, it looks like. And then the actual map, let me open this up. Alright, so it goes this way around. And I think people had mentioned that, like, oh, it takes its inspiration from the old Source of the Nile game. I can't comment on that because I haven't played it and I don't know for sure. But it's a game where I guess you pick starting entrance locations. Hey, this is where you land and this is where your team starts off. And then you're going to travel through regions, and these borders are marked with different colors and shapes, which I presume correspond to the types of events that you may or may not find based on geographical features in history. So there's a whole bunch of stuff to do and explore in this game, but I think a lot of it is you get to kind of pick where you're going, and it's kind of roll with punches and preparing yourself to survive. But again, not a war game, but I'm hoping that maybe through the events that you have and the different things that you can do and encounters, that there'll be some, even just a smattering, some element of some of those themes from that book about the nature of man and, you know, how we reflect on ourselves, the things that we put out in the world, you know, who's the real monster, all that kind of stuff. I hope that there's an element of that where you some of the actions, it's not just moving pieces around, right? It gives you something a little bit more than that. You know, that might be wishful thinking. It might just be a fun game. I'm not sure. So we'll find out. But I'm very interested to play this. Heart of Darkness from Legion Wargames. So we will play this soon and let you know how it is. But appreciate you guys tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com.